The mess hall fell quiet the second she stepped inside, not because anyone knew her, but because she moved like someone who had weathered things most only rehearse for. Her uniform was spotless, boots shining, face composed, yet her eyes held. That steady, sharpened focus that only comes from experience paid for the hard way. To the men already eating, though, she was just another arrival, another unfamiliar face. Another modest rank patch that didn't seem to belong in their loud elite circle. "Hey, new girl," a Navy SEAL called from across the room, leaning back with a lazy grin. "You sure you're in the right place? At rank wouldn't even get you through the front gate of our course." Few chuckles rolled out Totematic, not cruel, just the usual way soldiers test someone new. She paused with her tray, expression unreadable, then walked toward them. Each step was measured, unhurried, almost a calm. The usual roar of the hall faded into a tense hush. Even those who hadn't heard the remark felt the shift. The SEAL who'd spoken, Master Chief Brock Harlow, known for blunt edges rather than soft ones, arched a brow as she approached. "Relax," he said with a half-laugh. "Just kidding." She placed her tray down gently, clasped her hands behind her back, and tilted her head. "Chief," she said, her voice quiet but edged like metal. "Do you often joke about ranks? You don't understand?" The laughter vanished. Harlow blinked. "What's that supposed to mean?" She slipped a folded paper from her pocket and laid it on the table without drama. When she opened it, the gold seal caught the light. Several SEALs leaned closer, eyes widening. It was an official assignment order, stamped by Naval Special Warfare Command. The name at the top stopped them cold. Lieutenant Commander Arya Hail, not a newcomer, not junior, not someone to dismiss. Harlow's mouth parted. Yes," she said simply, taking a seat. "I outrank you." Silence swallowed the room so completely it drowned out utensils and conversation. For a long moment, nobody moved. Then she picked up her fork and ate as if nothing unusual had happened. But that moment was only the surface. Arya hadn't come to this remote base for a meal. She was there for something heavier, something that would test every soldier on the ground, including herself. She hadn't chased leadership. It had been carved into her through loss, grit, and battles she never bragged about. For years she had operated in the shadows, on missions that never made headlines, carrying decisions few even knew she'd made. Her rank wasn't earned behind a desk. It was forged in dust, smoke, and the ringing aftermath of explosions that left invisible scars. The SEALs didn't know that yet. They would. After the mess hall encounter, a quiet tension followed her. Some showed respect, others embarrassment. A few whispered guesses about her past. The truth was simpler and harder. She'd been assigned to lead a joint rescue operation demanding both tactical brilliance and emotional control. 2 weeks earlier, a recon team overseas had gone dark. Their last message said they'd been compromised. They were believed alive, barely, deep in hostile territory, crawling with patrols and potential informants. A rescue bordered on impossible. That was why Arya was there. She had planned missions like this before, operations where brute force failed, where every movement mattered, where one mistake meant disaster, and trust mattered as much as strategy. The next morning in the operations room, she faced the SEALs again. The same men who had laughed now stood straight, waiting. Harlow included. She didn't mention the mess hall. She simply activated the display, satellite images glowing to life. "This is their last known position," she said steadily. 6 hours old. "The area is trapped, the enemy organized, and our margin for error is 0. They listened, blew. Their confidence wasn't loud, it was lived in. She outlined the dangers without softening them, acknowledged fear without feeding it, and assigned roles based on strengths, not pride. When she finished, Harlow spoke. "Ma'am, what's your role?" She met his eyes. "I'm going in with you. I don't send people into danger I won't face myself." Shock flickered, then respect. What she didn't say was that one of the missing team was someone she once served beside, someone she'd quietly promised she'd always come back for. That promise weighed on her like stone. The night before launch, She sat alone in the dim corridor outside the barracks, doubting the plan, just knowing the cost. Leadership wasn't glory. It was carrying fear in private so others could move forward steady. Harlow sat beside her without a word of apology, but with understanding. "You think we'll get them out?" he asked quietly. "You have to," she said. "You know someone there," he added. "Yes." He didn't press further. Before dawn, the mission launched. Cold air, spinning rotors, tension humming. Ada stood by the open door, harness clipped, eyes fixed ahead. The SEALs no longer saw a small patch or an outsider. They saw their leader. The landing zone erupted in gunfire. Arya moved with sharp precision, commands fast and clear, decisions saving seconds that meant lives. No hesitation, no panic in her voice. Through rubble and shadow, they pushed to an abandoned compound. Arya signaled silence. Listening. Faint tapping 3 beats. Pause. 2. Survival code. She moved first, clearing debris, guiding the team to a hidden hatch. Inside, cramped underground, were the missing recon soldiers injured, exhausted but alive. One looked up, eyes tired but smiling. "Arya, you came." "Of course," she said, voice breaking for the first time. Then everything exploded. Again, enemy forces closed in. The firefight raged. Harlow took a hit to his vest and stumbled. Arya was already there, dragging him to cover, firing back with lethal accuracy. "You just saved my life," he gasped. She didn't answer, focused only on getting everyone out. When the helicopter finally lifted them away, adrenaline still surging, one truth hit them all. No one had been lost. Back on base, medics rushed the wounded. Exhausted soldiers leaned against walls, breathing hard. Harlow stepped forward, heels together, back straight, and gave Arya a firm, unwavering salute in front of everyone. The day before, silence had come from embarrassment. Now it came from respect. She returned the salute, eyes heavy with everything they'd endured. "Ma'am," Harlow said quietly, "thank you for leading us and bringing us all back." "Thank you for trusting me," she replied. The days after, story spread. About her rank, but her courage, calm, and loyalty. The SEAL who had mocked her became one of her strongest supporters, but Arya never led for praise. She led because people needed someone who would walk into the dark and bring others home. New leadership wasn't about the patch on her chest. It was about the weight carried in silence, the choices made under fire, the lives she refused to leave behind. And that truth, earned through scars, sacrifice, and resilience, was something no joke could ever take away. Strength isn't always loud. Leadership isn't always obvious. Sometimes the one you underestimate is the one who saves you all.